Welcome back to The Legal Brief, the show where we crush the various legal myths and misinformation surrounding various areas of the gun world. I'm your host, Adam Kraut, and today we're talking about armor-piercing ammunition, or as other people like politicians like to call it, Teflon-coated bullets. And contrary to the name of the ammo, it has nothing to do with it going through armor. The Transformer rail from Manticore Arms offers unparalleled versatility for both the AR-15 and now AK platform rifles. This free-floating rail system allows you to attach both M-LOK and key mod segments, Picatinny rail segments, as well as a host of other options. You can bet that almost any attachment will work. Available in OD green, flat dark earth, and of course black, this lightweight setup might be just what you need. To get 10% off anything you buy, use the code TGC10 at manticorearms.com. Time and time again, I see posts or hear people telling others that armor-piercing ammunition is illegal. There's a lot of bad information regarding armor-piercing ammunition, but fear not, we're about to clear all that up. And as always, we're talking about federal law, so your state and/or local laws may vary. First, we actually need to define what armor-piercing ammunition is. Federal law defines the term armor-piercing ammunition as either a projectile or projectile core, which may be used in a handgun and which is constructed entirely, excluding some trace elements, from one or a combination of tungsten alloys, steel, iron, brass, bronze, beryllium copper, or, as everybody's favorite, depleted uranium. The definition continues: a jacketed projectile larger than .22 caliber, designed and intended for use in a handgun, and whose jacket has a weight of more than 25% of the total weight of the projectile itself. I'm not sure what the percentage is on a normal full metal jacket projectile, but it is less than 25% of the total projectile weight. However, the term armor-piercing ammunition does not include shotgun shot required by federal or state environmental or game regulations for hunting purposes, a frangible projectile designed for target shooting, a projectile which the Attorney General finds is primarily intended to be used for sporting purposes, or any other projectile or projectile core which the Attorney General finds is intended to be used for industrial purposes, including a charge used in an oil and gas well perforating device. The regulations mirror the law itself. So, in order for something to be armor-piercing, it must be a projectile or projectile core made from one or a combination of the enumerated metals, which may be used in a handgun, or a fully jacketed projectile larger than .22 caliber, designed and intended for use in a handgun whose jacket weight is more than 25% of the total weight of the projectile. While there is ammunition that people consider to be armor-piercing, it by definition is not. For example, you may remember recently ATF attempted to reclassify M855 as armor-piercing. This caused a huge uproar from the firearms community, and ATF was flooded with comments as to why M855 was not armor-piercing ammunition.
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
If you're interested, I've included a link to the comment I filed on behalf of the law firm in the description, and if I do say so myself, it was rather robust. For the purpose of the show, the M855 projectile did not meet the definition of armor-piercing. If we look to 18 U.S.C. 922, we can see there are several instances where armor-piercing ammunition is unlawful. First, we see in subsection A7 that it is unlawful for a person to manufacture or import armor-piercing ammunition unless 1. The manufacture of such ammunition is for the use of the United States, any department or agency of the United States, any state, or any department, agency, or political subdivision thereof. 2. The manufacture of such ammunition is for the purpose of exportation, or 3. The manufacture or importation of such ammunition is for the purpose of testing or experimentation which has been authorized by the Attorney General. So basically, if you're making it for the government or you have permission to test or experiment with it, it's okay. Subsection A8 makes it unlawful for any manufacturer or importer to sell or deliver armor-piercing ammunition unless the sale or delivery is for the same reasons I just mentioned. Turning to the regulations, if we look at 27 CFR 478.37, it states that no person shall manufacture or import, and no manufacturer or importer shall sell or deliver armor-piercing ammunition, except if 1. The manufacturer or importation or sale or delivery by any manufacturer or importer is for the use of the United States, or any department or agency thereof, or any state or any department, agency, or political subdivision thereof. Ugh, that's a lot, right? In other words, the government. Second, the manufacture or sale or delivery by a manufacturer or importer for the purpose of exportation. In other words, if you're exporting it. Or third, the sale or delivery by a manufacturer or importer for the purposes of testing or experimentation as authorized by the director under the regulations. In other words, if you're authorized to experiment with it, it's okay. As with everything, the devil is in the details.
Does it matter?
Yes, it matters. I don't want to do it if Diddy did it.
How about a donut machine?
Did Diddy do it?
Diddy did do it.
A full ice cream bar.
Diddy did it.
Damn it, what didn't Diddy do?
In this case, it is the definition as to what armor piercing is and not just what people believe it to be. So unlike what most people believe M855 is, it's not armor piercing by definition. Hopefully that clears up some of the misconceptions about armor piercing ammunition. If you guys like this episode, you know what to do. Hit that like button and share it around with your friends. Have a question you want answered on the show? Head on over to the legal brief section on theguncollective.com. Be sure to check out my website, adamkraut.com, for more information on my quest to serve you on the NRA Board of Directors in 2017. And don't forget to like the Gun Collective on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Full30 Snapchat, and wherever else you can catch us on social media. And as always, thanks for watching.
The shirts worn in today's episode of The Legal Brief have been provided by Patriot Patch. Click the link in the description to learn more.